Hello, welcome to Model Kit Stuff, and I've got a bit of a quick tip for you today. It's a how-to video. It's a very basic tip, but it can absolutely elevate your wooden model ship. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to show you how to take a part like this, which is flat but engraved with an outside edge of a panel line, and actually create a 3D panel shape onto that part. It's very easy. It's very quick and it's really effective. So let's get stuck in. So to do this, what you're going to need is you're going to need an eraser, a pencil, a straight edge, ideally with good clear markings on for the measurements, and appropriate size chisels. That's all you're going to need. So we're going to start our process by drawing on the inside edge of our panel line. So let me get you a bit closer for that. Okay, there we go. I think we're focused. So on a panel like this, and they're not always, they don't always have the chamfer edge, but on panels like this, what I generally do is use the bottom corner to give me a depth, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my rule and just draw a straight edge in there, and we're going to follow that all the way around. So using the bottom edge of these little chamfered off corners, don't press on with your pencil, just draw lightly, because we are going to want to remove the pencil lines after we've finished. And depending on which wood you're using, it could be easily indented by pressing on with a pencil. There we go. So that's giving me my panel lines. Now, if you've got completely square, measure a depth 1 millimeter or so all the way around. So we can get rid of our rule, we can get rid of our pencil. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go in with the biggest chisel that we can, so that we do the least amount of cutting possible. So this one is going to be ideal for the sides, but I've got an even bigger one which would be great for these long edges. And what we're going to do is we're going to go in and along our pencil line, we're going to go in at an angle with our chisel. Now that angle can vary depending on how steep you want it to be. Generally, the shallower your depth, the sharper your angle is going to be. So if we were only sort of 0.5 millimeter that narrow, we'd do a deeper angle. But because we've got quite a bit of space here, about 1 millimeter all the way around, we can go in at a fairly shallow angle. So the key is to make sure that the blade is not outside of this laser engraved line here, and that our blade is straight, and then we just apply gentle pressure and then move the chisel along, same angle, apply gentle pressure, go right to the end so that it breaks off properly, and then you can give your blade a wiggle and that should take out that little strip there. And what's happened is the blade of the chisel has naturally come to an end where this laser cutting was. Now, I'll talk to you at the end of the video about how to do this if you've not got the laser marks in the first place. So you can see we've put our first edge in. So we're now going to go in and do exactly the same on the other side. And follow our line that we've cut, not, you know, if we've changed the line from where we drew with the pencil line, that's what we need to do. There we go, that's our second one out. So I'm now going to change to my slightly smaller chisel. Go in at approximately the same angle. It's always a little harder when you're cutting in the direction of the grain than when you're cutting against the direction of the grain. So you might need a little gentle bit more pressure. You can see I'm rocking the blade, just helps with the cutting action. Rocking the blade side to side. And there we go, I've managed to damage that. That doesn't usually happen. And that's it, we've cut out our panel. So now what we're going to do, and this is our final thing here, is we're just going to rub over the whole thing with our rubber and remove the pencil line. And there you have it, one panel. And that looks so much better and it's dead easy to do. Now let me show you very briefly how to do it if you've just got a blank piece of wood. So if you've got a blank part in your kit and you want a panel line or you want to create a panel, it's very simple. What you're going to do is you're just going to draw your outline first. We'll do a little L-shaped one here. Then just like I showed you a moment ago, you draw your inside line. You would measure this so it's even, let's say a millimetre or something. I've not measured mine, you can see mine's not even, but I'm showing you the process. And then what you're going to do very gently with a knife and your straight edge, you're going to score a line. Be careful that you don't go all the way through the wood, especially when you're cutting with the grain, because you will cut deeper when you're cutting in the direction of the grain. And that creates the stop that the laser cutting outside line created on the actual piece we just did a demonstration on. And then it's exactly the same process. So you're going to go in at an angle, cut in your little chamfer that creates the outside boundary of the panel, and then we gently lift it out. Now if you get a step, so I've not quite followed the line there, you can just go back in because it's a chisel, it's a woodworking tool, and correct it. There we go. So you can see you've gone from a complete blank piece of wood to a nice chamfered panel. And then what you can do, it all depends on your scale, is you can go in with a little bit of sanding paper to tidy that up. So a little bit of wet and dry, just to give you a nice crisp edge. And then rub out your pencil lines. And then when you come to clear coat that should look pretty awesome. So there you go, that's it. That's all there is to it. If you want more realistic panels on your wooden ships, that's how to go about it. I hope that was useful, helpful, interesting. If it was, don't forget to hit the subscribe button for more hints and tips and loads more on wooden ship modelling, including an absolute beginner's course designed to take you from having never built a wooden ship before to being able to tackle any wooden ship that you fancy. Until the next time I see you, you enjoy your modelling. Bye for now.